Today, a former Hillsborough County substitute teacher accused of battering a student will be in court.
8 on your side's Jenna Bass joining us live in Hillsborough County this morning with what we can expect in court today. Good morning.
Good morning, Chris and Avery. Yeah, that shocking classroom confrontation between a substitute teacher and a Webb Middle School student, all caught on camera. 26-year-old Benjamin Barnes has actually waived his appearance today for his disposition hearing here in court. Now, Barnes was arrested and charged with battery on March of 25. Deputies say Barnes got into an argument with a 14-year-old student and is accused of using racially charged language towards that student. He's also accused of snatching the student's cell phone right out of his hand. It's important, though, to note that Barnes was employed by Kelly Services and did not work for the school district.
I don't honestly know what the guidelines are to be a substitute. I know schools are desperate for teachers, unfortunately.
Now, Barnes has entered a plea of not guilty back in April through his attorney. His hearing is scheduled for today at 9 a.m. For now, we're live in Tampa. Jenna Bass, 8 on your side.
A Hillsborough County woman is facing attempted first-degree murder charges after FHP says she ran over a man with a stolen pickup truck in Temple Terrace. This happened Saturday near the Morris Bridge Road exit of I-75. A witness told investigators they saw Armani Bellamy in the driver's seat of a white pickup and the victim standing by a gray Dodge. That's when she reversed the truck, reportedly hitting the car multiple times before chasing the man off-road and running him over. A witness detained her until law enforcement arrived. The victim was taken to the hospital with serious injuries.
We've been talking about the back and forth over some of these laws for a while. Either way, though, it is important for all Floridians to really take note of all these that are going into effect tomorrow. Lawmakers say even though some of them are controversial, the overarching goal here is to make life better for everybody in our state. Bills signed by Governor DeSantis are set to take effect tomorrow. Florida becomes the second state to ban fluoride in tap water.
Forcing fluoride into your water is actually not good. There's risks associated with that for pregnant women, for young people, for kids. And yes, use fluoride for your teeth, that's fine. But forcing it into the water supply is basically forced medication on people.
Fluoridation is a long-standing practice to prevent tooth decay. Some health experts disagree with ending the process and say it's especially important in Florida, where basic dental care isn't readily available in many communities.
The return of investment is substantial too, because for every $1 we are investing in water fluoridation, communities can save easily $38 in dental treatment costs.
On the roads, new legislation takes aim at excessive speeding.
One of the things we can control is how many people get killed on the roadways. And so if it's a deterrent, if it saves any one of our pages' lives, God forbid one day, it's worth it.
Drivers going 50 miles over the speed limit or driving 100 miles per hour or more could spend up to 30 days in jail and pay a $500 fine for their first offense. Multiple offenses mean up to 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine.
It's constitutionally overbroad. It is incredibly invasive. It's going to clog our court systems in a way that none of us can imagine.
Despite some opposition, lawmakers in favor of the measure hope it will save lives. And those are just some of the more than 100 laws that take effect tomorrow. If you'd like to take a closer look, read up on those a little bit more, we have a full list for you on the WFLA app.
There's no shortage of food here in the Feeding Tampa Bay market. You got fresh produce, you have frozen items, anything that you could want. But for individuals on SNAP, the allowance is just $6.12 per day.
The shelves at Feeding Tampa Bay are stocked.
For children that want to learn, for seniors that want to stay healthy, for families to be active, we want them to have access to the best food there is.
Even with the help of a food bank, some need additional assistance. More than 250,000 households in the 10-county Tampa Bay region rely on SNAP benefits. Leaders at Feeding Tampa Bay say proposed cuts to the federal program could be disastrous.
So right now for SNAP, it's looking like a 30% cut overall. For a program. So when you look at numbers here in the state of Florida, we have about 3 million individuals that are on SNAP benefits. You have to imagine that there's going to be a reduction in a benefit and or a loss in benefit.
To sell their point, they put me to the test. Try to buy a day's worth of food with the average SNAP allowance, just $6.12. Don't think I'm going to need a cart. I'm pretty sure that everything's going to be able to fit right in one basket. I immediately picked up peanut butter, my favorite. This is $3.99. Got protein. Pretty good. I quickly broke the bank with bread. $3.99 and $4.99. We're over. So not that. My second attempt was more successful. Frozen pizza. $4.29. It's got pepperoni. It's got cheese. It's got carbs. And I can have a slice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Add an orange, and my budget was maxed out. And that's without any other essentials. Scout's not getting fed. Not doing my laundry. And going without is the only option for many in our area.
We all have to be a voice for those that can't or just don't know how to speak up for themselves.
So how do you think you could do? Feeding Tampa Bay wants you to try the SNAP Challenge. We have the links and information posted for you on WFLA.com.
Happening today, members of local amateur radio clubs are taking part in a national field day exercise. They are learning critical skills to communicate during any emergency, including a hurricane. 8 on your side, Jenna Bass joining us live in Clearwater with everything they're learning today and why it is so important. Good morning, Jenna.
Good morning, Melissa. Well, we hope they don't have to use those critical skills, but it's always great to keep them at, top of mind here at the Clearwater Fire Training Center off Belcher Road. Now, we've got Bruce here, and you're part of the St. Petersburg Amateur Radio Club, and today is y'all's field day, which is like the day of the year that you guys all come together to kind of share that science and skill to make sure that everybody's at the top of their game.
That's correct, Jenna. What we do here is we simulate emergency communications. Basically, in a nutshell, we make one communication to show that our equipment is working, and then it just morphs into a contest.
It's a really cool kind of like science project over here. We've got one station that's got Morse code. And talk to me about the other elements that are involved with ham radio.
The other elements that are involved with ham radio, that, like I mentioned earlier, there's multiple modes. There's Morse code, there's voice, there's data. There's a lot of having to know technical things because ham radio operators are allowed to tinker and build their own equipment, build their own devices to go along with their equipment. So it's sometimes it's kits, sometimes it's store-bought.
And why is this important to the community, specifically us here in Florida, that we deal with things like hurricanes, especially if our modes of communication go down?
It's an alternate means of people here to get messages out to their loved ones, or if their loved ones want to check on the status of any of us, they can actually go to their local ham radio operators where they are and send a message the same way.
All right, well, thanks so much for talking to us and explaining that. Hopefully we never have to turn to you guys, but it's good to know that resource, exactly, that resource is here and available. You guys still have time today to come check out the field day that's happening till 2 o'clock here at the Clearwater Fire Station. For now, we're reporting live in Clearwater. Jenna Bass, 8 on your side.
All right, welcome back in here on your Monday at 11. I'm Beth Russo with Stacy Scheibel, Juliana Mejia here with you. We're talking about baby corals because the Florida Aquarium putting them to work. They just packed up this morning 35 new corals as part of their efforts to help regrow and save our state's coral reef. So this video is from them doing that. The coral is a crossbreed between coral found in our state and the ones from Honduras. This should allow them to be more resilient to warmer waters, which has been a huge issue, I should say, coral bleaching has been. So this is a big effort from the Florida Aquarium, and I know Moat Marine has been really involved in stuff like this as well. Coral's going to be launched tomorrow from Key Biscayne to the University of Miami's artificial reef, just to see how tolerant they actually are. I know that they are kind of in a race against the clock to make sure that they can save our coral from any more bleaching.
And Juliana joins us now. Do you know much more about that? Because we know the warming waters are what's causing the coral bleaching, right?
Exactly, and it continues to be an issue, a really persistent issue at that. Each season, each year, we're tracking warmer and warmer sea surface temperatures, especially in areas like the Keys. And I'll never forget many records broken these past couple of summer seasons. So this is really cool.